Sure. Do you usually get a lot of people on a Thursday afternoon?
Not usually because it's not as many people do the systemic wellness.
Yeah, I was looking at your funnel thing. And there's like four that go for the Masters out of the 60. Is that right?
Yeah, it's usually yeah. So we'll go to a community, we'll offer a training, everyone goes, yeah, we want to go, want to go, want to go. And then, then when it comes to doing the work, it's oh good, let's see, is this Katie or Daisy? Roar is in the house. Roar is in the house. Who's that? Katie! Arr!
Hello.
How are you, Katie?
I'm okay, thank you. How are you?
I'm good. I'm good.
Good. Good. Hi,
So,
Marcus.
Mark's
Nice to see you.
Nice to see you again.
cool.
How's your week been?
Okay. I had last week off and I actually took it off, which
Good.
is unknown. So that was pretty nice.
Good
Yeah.
for you.
Yeah, I know. It's quite something. I
Right.
think people might have thought I was dead, to be honest, because didn't engage.
Okay, let's go. Katie, build the container. We've started recording. Have we got consent from everyone? You all know what the recording's about, what we're
Yep,
doing?
absolutely. Okay, would we like to check in? Who would like to start with how you are feeling today? How you're really feeling?
Really feeling fun. No. So I'm really feeling a little bit anxious, but also very excited the way things are coming. Yeah.
Mm.
I'll take Marcus.
Yeah, I'm feeling a bit cloudy this afternoon. It's a bit cloudy outside. I want the sun back. But yeah, I just got a lot of ideas that I need to quieten down and get into process. How are you, Katie?
Um, I too am a bit anxious today. Um, Anxious is often my companion that I work dance with one way or another. Um, but I'm okay. I'm okay. Yeah, lots of things in my head too. Um, yeah, but excited. Excited where life might be taking us. Yeah.
Cool. So can you see that I've just pinned my screen?
You've what your screen?
Pinned it.
No.
Am I taking up the whole of your screen?
Yes, but you are when you're talking.
Oh, I am when I'm talking. Okay. All right. So let me unpin it for me then, because I wanted to just explain the background quickly. Yeah. So here we have the 167 philosophy, which is basically 1 hour of treatment and 167 hours in a week. That's my fucking trying to work it in the mirror. But lived experienced organizations are a bridge between statutory services and the community. So that's what this training's about. Then we've got the systemic model here, the individual, the family, and the workplace. And then over this side, we've got the difference between coaching and therapy, the 4Q model, technical skills, emotional intelligence, spiritual intelligence, political intelligence, and then the three C's, checking, contract, build the container, and accountability, agenda, and action. And I quite like this graphic, even though it says journal down the bottom there, but fuck, I couldn't be asked to go and rewrite the AI thing. But I think it's a nice framework for what we're doing here, where we're using coaching to develop organizations and Leros and our professional roles here. So Marcus has shown immense dedication to the process, jumped on everything. So he's been on the individual coaching, he's been on the Lero recovery coaching, and now he's here in systemic wellness practitioner as he develops his lived experience organization that he's decided to go ahead and build. Yeah. So I thought we'd start there. But before we do that, how's it going with Raw, Kate?
Okay. Yeah, there was a little bit of a fuck up when I was off, and it was my fault because Katie keeps things in her head. Katie has this way of doing things. Um, I think there's that little bit of rebellion at me of filling in forms and stuff like that, which I need to address. Because there was an issue with someone who couldn't be contacted, and I had the consent form. I had it. So no one could actually do anything about it. And I was like, oh fuck. That's quite a thankfully it wasn't a major situation and thankfully it was all resolved. But it highlighted to me that I need to tick those boxes a bit more. I need to the governance a little bit more. But other than that, it's going very well. We've had a whole influx of new volunteer applications, which is wonderful, but also, it's a lot. But we're doing so much. We're doing so much at the moment, and it seems to be going really well. Just finished doing some training with the volunteers, and today had a little session of like an observation of someone mentoring, working with someone, and that was really nice to see that they got it. They got what we try and show them. Very much ticked all, although we call it mentoring, in my head it is very much coaching. But and yeah, so it's good. I feel that it's going very well. Thank you.
Cool.
Nice.
So I just want to comment on the admin side of things and access to the consent form. Yep. Was that human error or was it human shadow? In the sense of like, I'm going to hold on to this information because I feel insecure about it. And that's actually
Quite.
going to impact other people because I want to protect my environment.
I think you could be spot on there. Absolutely. And it is something I've noticed about myself this week, in fact, on a bigger level, because up until now it's just been me doing the systems, doing the consent, doing all of that stuff. Now we have another member of staff who is going to be helping me and very protective about it. I was looking and like, oh, what the fucking have you done that for? That's not meant to be done like that. And it's nuts because it will do nothing but help me. But I've recognised because I was the first employee they had, to me, it was my baby. It was so much my baby. And that's not the case now. It's kind of letting go of some of that a little bit. Both in the I like to control things sense. And in that actually it's going to be okay. You can trust other people to do stuff. You have to let other people take this on board and do what they think's right because no one person's way is always right. If that makes sense. I've got to share it a little bit. So that was a really good, as always, pick up from you, David.
So in the spiritual intelligence side of things,
Mm.
yeah, I think you've come across very transparent, open, with humility, and said, you know what, this is true. So let me put my
Mm.
hand up here, which is so safe.
Mm.
Yeah, but I think you've got great insight to yourself and that feels healthy. Now, not everyone's got that emotional intelligence and courage to actually go, you know what, I'm scared and I like to control things.
Mm.
Yeah.
Mm.
And they'll create reasons to justify that, I'm going to say pathological behavior, even though it's not pathological, but it's a fear-based, like, yeah.
Mm. Absolutely. Don't get me wrong, going through my head when I realized that, I mean, in essence, I'd made a mistake, there were 20 million excuses going through my head that I could give why that had happened rather than my own shit.
Yeah, good.
But I didn't, thankfully.
And that's what the humility of leadership's about.
Mm.
Fuck, you know what? I fucked up. This is what's going on. This is why it happened. This is what needs to be done. And this is how we're going to change it for the better. Yeah. So, so well done for that. Marcus, what have you just learned from Katie?
So I get the protective thing. I was literally just talking about this, but I've realized I do something. So I have the internal conversation of, fuck, I don't want to let this go. What's going to happen when it actually gets so big that I have to let it go? And I think it's a protective factor of mine, but I talk that down and I say what I need to be doing. So I kind of said that, I know I need to let it fly the nest. Nothing lasts forever. But I guess I don't know. I need to be honest, I think, and come out and say that the fear that's actually behind it. But I talk it down and I don't give it power in a way. So I need to find a balance in between those two.
Mm.
But yeah, I get that. My idea is great, and I don't want to own it because it's got to be a community thing and it's got to be people led. I'm just holding space for the ideas to generate but it's mine.
Yeah.
Keep talking. I'll be back in 1 second.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
It's like that. Well, you didn't create it. I've been sat for years with this idea in my head, and it's tormented me for a lot of years.
Mm.
Be until I found this network
Mm.
ecosystem. It's
Mm.
really helping me to like pull it out and turn it into building blocks rather than just this idea that's haunting me that turned into failure because like it's been 6 years now, I still ain't done nothing. What are you doing? But now I'm doing something, so it's taken the power out of it. But
Yeah, that's incredible. That's exciting for you. Really exciting for you.
it is exciting. It's scary as well.
Yeah,
Like the idea is great, but then there's the bureaucracy, the paperwork, the governance, the safe safeguarding, all of those things,
yeah,
which I want to get right.
yeah,
I have this idea that it needs to be in place before we take off, but I suppose we can sort out an emergency mid-flight. I guess if we're trained
yeah,
right.
yeah. Because when we started, I mean, it was founded before I came along, but I was the first sort of official employee. Um, and there wasn't any policies, and it was very reactive, which in some ways was okay because we didn't know what we was going to get, and I was like, okay, we've been faced with this situation, and David really helped me with some of this stuff, and so we had to react to it. But I think yes, it's a very good idea to get something, even if
Yeah.
there's something, because there's so many grey areas in the lived experience field anyway. There's so many things that are different to the mainstream and systems, um, that it's a good idea to know what you're going to do
Mm.
if A, B, and C happens. Mm. It's not easy. It's my least favorite part. I'd rather just sit and talk to people and support them and guide them. That I love. The other stuff, but
Uh,
you know,
I'm a
doing it.
people person, not a
Yeah,
processes person.
yeah,
I
yeah,
like that. I guess in the beginning there was that freedom for you guys to just do,
Mm,
like out of naivety,
mm,
just do it. Yeah,
mm. And actually, we did much as at the time there was some real headaches, obviously. Um, we learnt, and it was a real way of learning rather than that thing on paper. Well, why can't you do that?
yeah.
Why is that a bad thing? Why shouldn't we do that? Whereas actually in practice, you're like, oh fuck, yeah, that's why that's why we shouldn't be doing that, or that's why we should put something in place. Yeah, it was very free, but it did make it quite stressful. Um, yeah.
Chaotic or
Chaotic, and I think you can't get away from chaotic. I mean, we are in that environment, aren't we? I mean, it's always
I'm
going
a
to be
chaotic
chaotic.
person. I'm always like,
Yeah, exactly. And most people within the organization are pretty chaotic. We're dealing with people like us.
oh, chaos.
But
Sure, does
Okay,
yes,
okay,
did you
sometimes.
get
Oh,
a lot of
sorry.
people on a Thursday afternoon?
not usually because it's oh fuck,
Most
I've
people
fucked the
do the
screen up.
systemic
Sorry.
wellness.
Now I've got the YouTube playing in the
Yeah,
background.
it's looking at your funnel.
I got very confused for a minute.
You got confused.
I
Welcome
was
to
like,
my
I'm not
life.
talking.
Welcome to my life. Wow. And now my video's all fucked up. Oh well.
We can see you.
Sorry about that. Catch me up. Catch me up.
Marcus was saying that he agreed with me, he understood about that protection, and then he started talking about it's exciting and scary and thinking about the governance and the bureaucracy and the safeguarding, and said he wanted to get some of that in place first. I said we didn't have any of that when we started, and we was reactive. Don't advise that, but also it's a really good learning space for when things come up, because you don't know what's going to happen in this environment, and sometimes kind of has to be reactive. Um, and then we was talking about it being completely chaotic. I think that's where we were.
Yeah.
Okay. So the way I like to operate is just fucking do it. Just start and do it. Yep. Which is what we kind of covered this morning, Marcus, where established institutions, like what are the known outcomes and what's the structure? So if you look at working in this field in the UK, you've got to go and do level 1, level 2, level 3, NVQ, or yeah. There's a real kind of academic structure and a nice, yeah. The way that we work is like, fuck it, let's just do it. What do we got here? What's the problem? How can we come up with a solution? What resources have we got? Let's make it happen. The answer is somewhere in between. So, Marcus, you want to build an organization. Your own personal lived experience has realized that there's a huge gap in the world. Yep. And you have a lot of passion to go and do that. Now, what we want to do is support you in taking your passion, protecting you so you can grow this organization. Now, both Katie and I have a lot of experience with that. Would you like some support around what the next steps are for you in your organization?
Yes, please.
Okay. Katie, are you okay to do that? So it's going to be
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, of course.
okay.
Don't know how
So,
much help I'll be, but absolutely.
okay, great. So now we're moving the conversation a bit towards the mentoring space. This is what we did. This is what worked for us. What's going to work for you? Yep. And then when we move to the consulting space, we'll let you know too. So, and why this is a good lesson for us here in systemic wellness is we got to dance that whole thing. Yeah. and this is really leadership development.
Right.
Yep. All right. So tell us a bit about your organization, Marcus.
Okay, so it's a bit all over the place. So I'm going with the theme of the rooted collective. It's like me starting something to bring a collective. Under that, I want the coaching and, some of the workshops and things like that that are client facing to be rooted in wellness. And then the other side, which is the reaching out into the community, doing the getting the feedback. So having a lived experience panel or a council of sorts. I want that to fall in and under the rooted collective, but I also want how that comes about. I also want the members that are going to join me on that journey to have a say. So this is where I need to I've got the idea, I kind of need to let it fly the nest a little bit, and not have complete control. And I want it to be organic and authentic in that sense. So um, I'm gonna start with the lived experience forum, council panel, whatever that might be at the moment, because I'm already doing some of that work. I'm working, I- I'd say with organizations at this point, I'm working against organizations that their main thing is lived experience and they're getting it wrong. So we're just going to go and let them know that it's gone off track from, where we started. I was a part of that process as a service user. I became a staff member and now I'm an ex-staff member, um, undercover as a service user, just so that I can do the formal process of holding them to account. So that's a lived experiencing. And I found that the other people that are also joining in on the class action, for want of a better word, they are the lived experience council. So I want to formalize that space. We all have the same vision for Red Hill and Surrey. So it's like, okay, as I just said in the chat today, they were like, oh, we've been talking for months about starting this. I'm like, okay, well, it's started, it's founded as of this moment. So I just want to get like an email address and set a time and a place weekly, just so that we can start building momentum and bouncing ideas around. So that's that in a nutshell. But further down the line, I want it to be like a day habby type service that runs workshops and brings wellness from trauma to addiction, homelessness. So kind of those three go hand in hand, I think. And then on the other side, the consultative side, engaging with all the organizations which we're identifying don't meet the mark and offer them training, workshops, and the consultative side, and get paid for it. Do you know what I mean?
So take a breath, Marcus.
Sorry.
No, 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 no. Don't apologize at all. Say sorry for saying sorry. Stop it straight away. Yeah? Okay, great. So would you like feedback from Katie and I?
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So Katie, what comes up for you when you listen to Marcus?
What comes up for me is certainly his passion. I loved the whole it's lived experience, but they're not getting it right. I really loved that, and that whole actually looking at, because we've spoken about this before, this whole tokenism within the system of bringing in people with lived experience, and it doesn't get done right. It doesn't get done. It is just pure tokenism. So I really like that. And your analogy of the roots and people coming up from the bottom of that. It's a lot. It's a lot. There's a big old stuff. I'm so eloquent, a big old stuff. There's a lot to think about. There's a
Yeah.
huge amount to think about. Because ideally, in the ideal world, all of those things are amazing, but it takes a lot of time. And I love that you've just done, well, that's it. We are now founded. that's it, and we just start. I think that's brilliant. I actually lost your audio a little bit between that, so I may have missed some stuff, but um, yeah, over to you, David. I'm gone a bit blank.
Okay, wonderful. So I'm going to use a metaphor. Yeah, so metaphor links left and right thinking. Yeah, and here comes Daisy. Cool. So you're getting a lot of support around you, Marcus. That's great. Cool. So let's just check Daisy in. Once she's here. Hello, Daisy.
Hello.
Cool.
Hiya.
How are you
Hey,
checking in,
Daisy.
Daisy?
I'm checking in. Okay.
Good. Good.
Okay.
Wonderful to have you here. So what we're doing is we're supporting Marcus, who's made a decision today to just kick off his organization, Rooted Not Booted. Is that correct, Marcus?
The Rooted Collective,
The
and then
Rooted Collective, sorry, yeah.
and
Okay.
then many other things.
And many other things. So the metaphor I got was you standing in a garden with an umbrella. Yeah, and there's all this stuff raining down. And you need to go and stand with your umbrella over certain parts of the garden so that the roots can form. Yep, and start. And what I heard was part of it's consultative. Yeah. Part of it's like bringing onboarding and building the team around you, the people that are in your camp. The part of your garden path to get there was someone that's been through the service, yeah, volunteered at the service, and then you said kind of gone undercover and forming a class action or something. And then I just thought, oh fuck, this is getting juicy. Yeah. So my first alarm bell would be everyone's trying their best.
Mhm.
Yeah. And so let's just try and bring some peace in this garden so things can start to grow. And that's my own. Can we all just get on nicely? Yeah. Can we all play nicely together? But actually, sometimes people need a fucking smack across the face and say, wake up, people are dying.
If
Yeah.
it if it wasn't a suicide prevention service, I may not be as
Okay, all
cool
right. So
about
that
it.
brings a different context to it.
Mm.
So now you want to bring skills to improve suicide prevention service. Is that correct?
So many services, but in this one instance, we are going towards and helping them want to improve their
Okay, great.
service.
Okay, all right. Okay. How are you, Daisy? How's the world of raw and the burden of leadership?
Fun. Yeah. I think my holiday glow faded quite quite quickly. You know, there is a there is a new fire every day. Um, so at least it's warm.
Okay, okay. So, what advice would you give Marcus, who's just starting out here? How long have you been with Raw?
Just over a year now as an employee,
No,
I
but
guess.
before that,
2 years now, about 2 years.
yeah, okay. So you've
I'm
got a
looking at
lot of,
Katie.
Yeah, maybe a bit less because I've been in the job 2 years and I was probably around for a little bit before. But yeah, it's in the region of, isn't it? Region of,
okay.
somewhere's there.
So 2 years ago when you started, yep. Then a year ago, yep. And then now coming back from holiday and losing that glow. Those 3 points, what advice would you give Marcus from where he is just kind of very enthusiastic, starting out, lots of passion?
I would say one thing at a time,
Okay.
because you will have a lot on your plate if you start doing everything. Things won't get finished. Deal with one problem at a time, or if you can, one task at a time, because otherwise it becomes hugely overwhelming.
Okay. And which task do you think he should focus on? That was a big sigh.
It's hard.
It is harder.
I think I think one of the most important tasks is to build a reliable team around you. Because
Great.
if everything is on you, then it will be impossible. You need people that you can trust and people that you can rely on to do the important things and know that they're going to be done well. Not necessarily the way that you would do them, but well.
Okay. So Katie, don't laugh out too loud after that statement that Daisy just made. Yeah. Marcus, how does that land for you? What Daisy said?
It lands well. I'm very aware that like what I just explained and what I've explained in other meetings, like in the other classes, like that's even smaller than what the original idea was. Um, so this year I've had to really streamline it, and I think starting with a lived experience panel and tackling this one problem with this one organization is the natural starting place. But also to build the team, they kind of need a bit of a forward vision, and I'm happy for it to be added to or whatever. But I just want to lay out like this is why I'm convening this group in a way, and this is my vision. It might inspire them to do their own thing. They might be on board with it, and we might need to scrap some things. They might want to add to it. That's part of the process, I guess. But yeah, and
Okay.
then so that's the lived experiencing. And then for myself, I want to build my brand and portfolio and so for the consulting side. So that's what the lived experience, the rooted thing is me. The rest is to be decided and discussed with the community and team that's gonna join me,
Okay.
hopefully.
All right. Katie, would you like to add anything?
No, I completely agree with Daisy. It's so important to have a reliable group of people that are open, honest, want to share, don't protect their paperwork. Daisy, we've had a discussion about me not doing my paperwork today, so just so you know, that's what that's all about. Not keeping things to myself. Um, because not only for the organisation itself, but for you and for your team personally, the amount of support you have to give each other in this process is huge. I can't underestimate that. I really can't underestimate that we need to have hold each other's hands sometimes, and have that, you know. So I completely agree with Daisy.
Okay. So I would suggest from my side is to work out what your team is around you. Yeah. So you can start to get the support that you need now.
Mhm.
Yeah. And my own lived experience was do not employ your fucking sponsees. That was a
Yeah.
proper fuck up in my life. I thought I had to give everyone jobs. Oh my God.
And also, just because someone's really passionate about what they're doing, it doesn't mean they can do it either. I think that's a really important thing because we used to go, oh, you want to volunteer? Yeah, absolutely. Come and do what you want and get on with it. Fuck. No, 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 no. Oh, and that doesn't mean you exclude anybody. It just means you're very discerning about how you work with people
Finding the right
and that
place.
kind of thing. Yeah,
Finding the right
exactly.
place for the right person.
How are you feeling, Marcus?
Good.
Good. All
Yeah.
right. Are you okay to talk about your organizational structure now?
I didn't know there was one, but yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So you're the CEO, yes?
Mm, yes, in principle, but we'll find a better name.
Okay. So what's the reluctance there? What just came up? Because Daisy went, yeah, you fucking are. Yeah.
So I get it's just a traditional name that every other company and corporate structure has, and the whole theme is, we're not that. So I will find a title, but
So
I
what
don't
are
know.
you then?
I don't know yet. I need to mull that over. But CEO, basically founder.
Founder,
Like I said.
CEO. Okay. So you're in charge. You have the burden of leadership.
Yeah,
The buck stops with you.
yeah,
If you hold on to a piece of paper and it impacts the organization, people are going to fucking look to holding you accountable.
yeah,
Yeah. Okay. Just like that's happened to Katie. Yeah. It's like, fuck, hands up. Okay. Shit. Yeah. Like this is your thing. Okay. Are you breathing?
yeah.
Hmm.
I just acknowledging like last week, very kindly, Daisy popped my bubble. So like I've had this, like I'm starting to fall into line, not into line. I'm starting to just fall into that role. Like I am going to be responsible, and it's a lot of the fear. And I guess even when you're competent, there's still that someone can come and take this all down with one complaint, and I'm very aware of that. Because I'm a professional complainer. I've seen a lot of services go wrong, and I speak up about it. So I would be fucked if we come up against someone like me in that sense, and we do get it wrong.
All right, fuck it there. That's your training finished. Thank you for joining us. You're going to turn on us one day. Shit, we better fucking protect ourselves now.
No, not at all. Not at all.
Why not?
Well, I respect a lot about the lived experience, and it's not just this organization and the organizations that are a part of this particular Zero meeting. There's many others, and it's about professionalizing lived experience and getting that out there. And like, I just completely respect the efforts that people are going to do that. It's exactly what I'm trying to do. Like, and yeah, like I'm starting to see a little bit more of, it's not just a single person error, it's maybe a cultural thing within an organization. So it's not necessarily someone's fault. Whereas as a service user, um, and the way that my mind has been conditioned around the corporate sort of world, I don't look at the NHS as the NHS as a public body. I look at the NHS as run by this one person who is the buck stops with. Um, and they don't necessarily have influence over the local service. They're just trying to keep the cogs running altogether. So I'm starting to see that a little bit more, the wider picture.
So there are lots of role players within the system.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So, Daisy, your role has changed from being a participant to a volunteer to a leader in the organization. Is that correct?
Yeah, I was never a service user.
Okay.
I came in as a volunteer, but
Okay.
yeah, and then I've gone through it.
Okay. So you've gone from poacher to gamekeeper.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. And Katie, the same with you, yes?
Yeah, I didn't volunteer for this, but I volunteered for another organisation for a couple of years before I then came into went through treatment, volunteered for that treatment service, then got the job before.
Okay. All right. And who pays you?
Don't know
I
really.
mean,
Hey?
so obviously our treasurer fulfills our pay slips. Our wages were agreed between us as directors. Um, so yeah, I mean, it was based the the conversation we had around pay was based on the rate that Katie was being paid by the Forward Trust when we were still a subsidy of the Forward Trust. Um, so that's where our salary was agreed. And then James, when he remembers, fulfills our pay slips.
Right. I'm not even going to dig into this. I was looking more for like, is this a commission service? Yeah.
Oh,
Or is this,
oh,
or are
okay.
you subcontracting to another organization?
So we are currently, the majority of our funding comes from KCC on a grant basis, not a commissioned basis.
So that's Kent County Council.
Yes.
Great. Okay, cool. So money comes in to support you two in being leaders of this organization to deliver solutions that Kent County Council want.
Yeah.
Yep, great. And you're accountable to them and to the people that you serve.
Aye.
It's a fucking sandwich, yeah? Yeah?
Shit sandwich.
Yeah. Okay. So Marcus, where are you in that picture?
We're a volunteer organization. I don't get paid.
Yep.
No,
Okay.
I seriously, I would be looking to go to Surrey County Council. I need to go and do some research into what's commissionable and what's not, um, and maybe a startup grant from a grant provider of some sort. So it's on the radar. It's definitely something I need to go and look at.
Okay.
Yeah.
So Raw was incubated through the Forward Trust. Is that correct? Yes?
Yep.
Yep. And Forward Trust gave birth to this Lero. Yep. And now the Lero is like a teenager running around and learning how to manage its finances and all the drama that goes with it. Is that a fair play metaphor?
This is actually right.
Okay, great. Okay, you're doing an excellent job. Okay, I just want to and thank you all for just kind of sharing this stuff out there, because I promise you lots of people are going through this learning experience. Yeah. So there's huge stigma out there. It's like you can't trust junkies. I'm just gonna say it
Mhm.
fucking like that, because where the people put it, you can't trust people that had substance use disorder. They might return to sin. It's like fucking hell, the junkies are gonna run off with the money. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the shadow voice that lives there. So by talking about this and bringing this out here, we're kind of going, we're putting this on the floor here. Yeah. All right.
So I have someone who is trusted and an esteemed member of our community that will that has already said that they will help with like the HR, the payroll, that kind of thing. I wouldn't trust myself to deal with finances. That's definitely something that I need a strong team member for. So initially, I've got that support in offering. So
Okay.
when it comes time, go on.
So Marcus, you're kind of being birthed out of this training. Like you're learning the skill sets here. You're
Yeah,
learning
yeah,
the
yeah.
skill sets from Katie and Daisy. Yeah. So Daisy, Katie, like what advice would you give Marcus now to go and raise funds?
I could see Daisy
Do it,
chomping at the bit. This is definitely her area.
do
Definitely.
it now.
Mm.
Now is when you need to start looking for money because A, everything costs money. If you want to rent a room to get all of your volunteers in the same place, costs money. Train tickets to get them there cost money. No one, even if you're doing it for a good cause, we're a charity organization, we're not for profit, blah blah blah. No one cares. Their room rates are their room rates, and you're going to have to pay them. And for us at least, just like David said, addicts aren't fundable. Recovery support is not fundable. People on funders' lists of priorities, we are right at the bottom because also they believe that statutory services should be providing the service that we're providing. Regardless of whether they are or not, doesn't matter. They believe that they should be. So they don't want to give us money to provide that service because someone else in their heads should be. So, and if you need money for something, you need to plan months in advance. Grants take months to come back to you. If you're looking for like to be commissioned, you need the right type of governance, you need the right type of this and this and this. And so finances need to be at the forefront of your mind always because you can't provide a service if you've got no money. And it's also not something that you can fund personally, because the money adds up so quickly. We were commissioned by KCC at £60,000 a year for the first 3 years, and then they wanted us to be fully self-sufficient since then, and we're not. That's the reality of it. Were we just put in a bid for the National Lottery. We asked for too much money, they didn't give us the funding. And that has left a big deficit in what we need to raise to sustain ourselves for the rest of the year. And it's doable, but that panic in the back of your head going, oh, I've got to find 30, 40 grand, it comes around quickly. And then by the time that you need the money, you've got people that are relying on you. You've either got other employees or just the volunteers or the service users. So finances are so important. You need to think about where you might get this money from, how long it takes to apply for that money, when you might be finding out about that. And also, you need then a plan B and a plan C and a plan D in case all of those first options go, no, we don't want to fund you. Or we'll fund you, but we'll only give you 10% of what you asked for. And you can't do this with the money and you can't do that with the money. And it can't be used for this and that and that. And in return, we need X, Y, and Z. There's so many conditions on funding. And also think about your legal structure going forward because some grant funders will not fund CICs, they won't fund community groups. And when you are applying for funding, they want you to have a certain period of accounts.
And they're watching, and then they'll cut you off just when they
Yeah,
think they
they
get you
say,
what
Daisy,
you
you're talking shit. We don't want to hear that. I'm so glad that's Daisy's job and not mine. Oh, she's back. Here she is.
I'm back.
We
I
lost you
don't
for
know
a
where
sec.
you cut off, but I was going.
Yeah, no, keep going, keep going.
Um, where did I freeze?
So basically, you were saying
Accounts,
how
accounts for a certain amount
Yeah,
of time.
yeah. So you need to have accounts for a certain amount of time within your current legal structure. So if you don't have multi-year funding, don't change your legal structure, because all of the time you have could before your legal change now doesn't exist. All of the bank accounts, all of everything, it's not considered anymore. So we are in a bit of a pickle because we decided at the beginning of last year to become a CIC, and that meant all of last year we couldn't apply for a lot of the funding because we needed to have a year's worth of accounts in our current legal structure. So now that we've just hit a year, we can now, like, the grants have opened up to us. But looking back, we should have become a charity and not a CIC, because, say 100% of grants are open to charities, 40% will be open to CICs, and then 10% will make sure that you've got like 2 years as you're under this current legal structure. So, yeah, think about finances, think about your legal structure, and have a plan now for when you're going to need that money, because it will come around so quickly as well. Okay, my rant
That's
is
really
done about
that's really
finances.
helpful.
Marcus, is this helpful?
Yeah, really. It's the information I kind of been looking for, but didn't know where to look for it. So yeah.
And let me tell you, Daisy didn't know any of this when she started her job. She's literally learned all of this in the year, and that's why she gets stressed. God bless her. So yeah, it's great that she can give you this stuff because people don't know. I mean, I don't know. I know because she tells me, but I couldn't have done that. 100% couldn't have done it.
There is a brilliant charity called Funding for All, and they provide support services for um, charity sector, non-profit BCSEs, or whatever you want to call them. Um, and they can also provide you with a mentor who can tell you all of this stuff, help you write bids, well, not help you write them, but they can at least look over them before you send them off. So they're definitely, and they provide lots of like free online webinars as well about funding and about governance and structure of organizations, about HR, about, they're a wealth of knowledge, and they've been really helpful in me learning how to do this job from not knowing anything about how to do this job.
That's really helpful. I was looking at, well, I Googled it and then I was like, oh my God, that's like, let's get back to drawing my flowery garden. But yeah, I'm very aware, like, those are the bits which I'm prepared to tackle. I just need the right, I need the right people around me, 100%.
Yeah.
And I've spoken to quite a lot of people in the community. Like there's the Rotary Club. In principle, I just sort of explained my idea, and he was like, "We would chuck money at that." I'm like, "That's music to my ears." And there's a lot of buy-in. Like, there's a lot of people that support the idea, the big idea, before I whittled it down. So um, it's really encouraging to, and literally those people are the ones that have kind of been pushing me along. Like, what are you doing with your idea? What are you doing with your idea? Like they want it to happen, which is nice. But yeah, like I need to set up space and time so that we can get through these things and decide how it's going to be structured. The one
This
thing I
is
was
the
struggling with
space,
was
this is the time.
the thing I was that with the various people that are, willing to support. The one thing that I really can't get my head around is the structure, because CIC looks really appealing on the package, but something tells me just no. So I'm glad that you've said that. And I
Yeah,
don't like the idea of being, responsible. It'd be nice to have like the trustee type situation. Um, so
yeah.
yeah, what's that all about?
Let's take a break there,
Okay, yeah,
and I'll calm down from that question because my experience with trustees um, is something that I could bring to the container in a minute.
perfect.
So let's take a 5 minute break. 7 minutes, Daisy. Katie, want 7 minutes? 5 minutes, 7 minutes?
Yeah,
However
I'm
long
gonna
you
go and
want.
I'm gonna go and have a fag and I'll be back up.
All right. So Marcus is a 7 minutes guy. All right. So let's come back at 5 past. I see you, Daisy. I'm watching. Daisy, I so appreciated you last week coming onto the call. It was so powerful. It was absolutely wonderful. You're muted, you're muted, you're muted. Fuck's sakes.
No, I'm glad because I was worried that I was going to make you anxious about obviously what I brought up, and I didn't want to make you anxious.
I'm always going to be anxious, and actually it did the opposite. Because what it does is it helps me kind of know where I stand. And I really appreciate that. So I need frank, clear direction. This is working, this isn't working. This is this, da, da, da. That is helpful for me. That's my style of communication. And from that, I trust that.
Good.
Yeah,
Because I'm quite the same. I'd rather someone just said it. But I know a lot of people don't necessarily enjoy that. So,
well, I tell you what, one of the challenges is with people in our population that have been particularly traumatized, is people can start giving us good advice, and then suddenly me, I'm sitting there going, yeah, 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 go on, just hurry up. Where's the but? Where's the but? Where's the but? Like, fuck. So I miss all the good stuff, and I'm just looking, and then it doesn't come, and then I think, what the fuck's really going on here? Because I'm so used to getting fucked up that when it doesn't happen, there's a mistrust there.
yeah.
Great. Okay. Welcome back. Katie, do you want to start the check-in?
Yes, thank you. I'm feeling less anxious than I was when I came on today. So obviously talking about this stuff has grounded me a little bit. So I'm very grateful. Thank you.
You
And I
looked
will
so
take
relaxed when you sat in your chair and started playing with your hair. Yeah. Did you see that, Daisy? It's like, yeah.
Oh, there you go. So it worked, definitely. The
Yeah.
container grounded me. So that's brilliant. Yeah, thank you.
Great.
Grateful for it. And I'll tag you, Daisy.
Thank you. Yeah, I'm feeling good. I talking about funding and finances always riles me right up. So I think I needed it. The afternoon was starting to drag on. I've been in meetings pretty much all day, and doing some training that just wasn't as interesting as I was hoping it was going to be. Um, so yeah, I feel good. Thank you. How about you, Marcus? How you feeling?
Stressed, anxious. No, yeah, it's hitting home what needs to be done. So obviously I'm just finding my ground. And I've taken a breath. David?
Yeah, I just sat here during the break. And I'm busting to go to the toilet, but I didn't want to go because there are people next to the toilet in the kitchen there. And so I thought, oh no, I don't want to do that. So I got a bit like, oh fuck. So that's anxiety's a funny thing, huh? It really fucking grips me at times. But I'm loving this container. And I thought what we'd do now is we'd flip it the other way around to see how Marcus and myself can support Raw. Yeah. So Katie and Daisy, what have you learned from supporting Marcus in his organization? What have you realized?
I've realised half the time I don't even know what I'm doing. If I'm completely honest, still, I very much find my way. Daisy and I work very differently, and thank goodness we have very different responsibilities. Daisy she does what she does amazingly. I hope I do what I do okay. But still,
Amazingly.
but,
Amazingly.
but still, half the time I'm like, I don't know what the fuck I'm doing. I'm training someone, and I'm thinking, is this right? Am I doing this right? So I think it's that realization when you really strip back everything and think this is an organization, it has structure, it's really important. It's really important because I can be a little bit blasé, in case you hadn't noticed. But my heart is always there and the passion is always there. And that's what I'm guided by. And I hope that hits the mark. But it does make me realize, sometimes I just haven't got a clue what I'm doing. And we probably all need that little bit of support and guidance, actually, because it's a huge thing. In many ways, we hold people's lives in our hands. And that sounds like so dramatic and egotistic and all of that. But actually, it's the truth. There are people that we do, and it's such an important thing to do. But I also think it's not helpful to get too caught up in thinking about that. I think sometimes to go with your gut, to go with your passion, and to do what you know is right. As long as Daisy's there in the background doing the finance. And I think that's why we work, because we are the yin and yang of this a little bit. But it makes me realise, I couldn't do half the stuff that she does. Well, I know that anyway. It's not just like a realisation. It's it's fact. It's absolute fact. But it is also recognising how huge all of this stuff is. It really is. It's not just, a little community group that we've got together and we meet for a coffee. It's so much more. And there's always so much more around the corner you have to deal with. So that's my take.
Daisy?
Yeah, firstly, Katie does her job amazingly. And she always goes, well, I think I'm doing all right. And she's doing amazing.
She's
Um,
dishonest, huh?
yeah, I mean she's oh,
Full
what is
of
it?
shit.
Yeah, sometimes.
Yeah.
I think we all have that kind of, imposter syndrome. How did I get here? What am I doing? But she's great and she knows she's great and she needs to let it seep inside, let all of that great feedback, because she gave training before she went away and all of the feedback was amazing. Everyone loved it. Everyone thought it was really good, really useful. They were all singing her praises. It's like it lands on you, but doesn't go in to you. It needs to go in. Because, fair enough that a couple of mistakes when you were like, we've realized some things since you've been on holiday. I fucked up in my job. We're all going to make mistakes. It's always going to happen. But don't let those mistakes make you think that you're not good at your job, because you are really good at it. And I can't do what you do. When you went on holiday and I had to deal with people every day, I was going to lose my mind. There were some funding also drives me mad. But when I can sit there and just write my little bid in silence and, do that side of things, that little respite from organizing things and dealing with people and ringing people and answering questions and putting out the fires is lovely. I like that little, respite from all of the stress. So yeah, we do need each other. Anyway, sorry, what was the original question? Got
Right.
wrapped
I
up
don't know, but
in
I was very
praising
much
Katie.
enjoying the
Yeah,
You
okay.
know,
Have you two finished frapping each other now?
Yeah, I'm
was
done
a bit
now.
pathetic, wasn't
Okay.
it?
Okay. So the question was, what have you two learned about your organization helping Marcus with his organization?
I think I've learned that I am maybe actually more competent than I
Thank
thought I
you.
was.
Great. Okay. Good. I would concur with you. Yep. What else?
Um, and I think, telling Marcus about, what we would do, what I would do now has kind of made me realize how much we have overcome to be able
Great.
to succeed. You know,
Great.
there are lots of Leros, like for example, one that's coming up that is probably gonna, uh, and we've gone through a lot of stumbling blocks, but we've overcome and we are successful and we are competent, even when we don't think we are,
Okay.
even when we have no experience in doing what we're doing it well. We are.
So by supporting another organization, you've realized how far down the road that you've come, and there's a lot of resilience. So even though we didn't know anything and we just started to do it, we were able to work it out, and we're fucking doing quite well, actually.
I
Yeah. So, Katie, feedback to you would be you must back yourself, love. This
Mhm.
this this false humility doesn't it's not good for anyone. Yeah.
And if I'm honest, I do say, in the bits I know I'm competent at, I will say that. I know I'm good with people. I know I'm good at training and teaching. I think it's just the other little bits that then put that doubt in me. But I do know and I accept that I am good at that side of it. So I'm half there.
Hmm. Cool. All right. So what would Raw like today?
If you've got any money, that would be great.
Okay. How much money do you need?
Um, give or take 30 grand.
30 grand. Okay. A month, a year, 5 years?
So this current financial year, we are in a deficit of 30 grand. So I've got 30 grand to find before September-ish, I think.
And what are the consequences if you don't find it?
I'm out of a job.
Oh, okay. All right. Okay. All
Yeah.
right. Okay. So this is one of the clouds that I see hanging over lived experienced organizations, charities, kicks. They're all commissioned for about 3 years type of work. So there's always halfway through the delivering of the contract, this anxiety comes into the organization. Where are we going to get funding from? Are we going to carry on? And that anxiety then takes away from what the charity should be doing. The other thing I see happening is a lot of money that comes in goes to paying rent on buildings that are already kind of established for offices and things like that. So the money actually doesn't really get out to the people that it needs to. It kind of washes around in infrastructure and leases and things like that. So I'm trying to work out this Babylon system here, but it always seems like, show me the money. It's like, yes. So here's £200,000. Here's a grant, but it needs to be spent on monthly rental of a building in the town centre where you guys can run your thing and you can have those people come and drink coffee there and have your meetings and play table tennis and do all your kind of patchwork or whatever it is that you do. There's like, oh, there's my own anger coming up now.
Mhm.
Yeah.
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 Yeah, we have kind of the opposite problem in the fact that funders are only really willing to fund project resources. So anything that is going directly to the community, to run an art group or to run a cooking group, they'll fund that, but they won't fund my salary because my salary is to fundraise. They probably would support Katie's salary because it directly supports the volunteers that are directly supporting the public. But they don't want to support core costs. They don't want to support infrastructure. They don't care. They think, well, if you've got a couple of volunteers that can run an art group, we'll pay for that, but we're not going to pay for anyone to supervise that or monitor it or, any of the infrastructure that is needed
How
to
does that
be a
how does
safe,
that feel,
reliable
Daisy?
delivery. Fucking annoying.
Oh, good. So the transference that I'm feeling of fucking rage is
Yeah,
appropriate.
it is. It
Okay.
is ridiculous.
Okay.
Because how can anyone expect a volunteer or an organization to run without proper infrastructure, without proper support on the back end, and they always want sustainability. Your project has to be sustainable. How the fuck is it going to be sustainable if you don't have someone else out there looking for more funding once your little project has finished? And they only want results. How many people are you going to engage? How many people are you going to improve their well-being? I don't know. We'll try to, get as many people as possible in there, but it's always results based. And if our organization isn't a direct like intervention, they don't want to hear about it. Or if you're not going to produce results, then we won't fund you. It's just ridiculous, and they want proper governance and they want safe delivery and they want to make sure that everything is in line back of house, but they don't want to fucking pay for it. We need insurance, we need systems that are going to monitor volunteers, but we don't want to pay for it. How the fuck are we supposed to find this money?
Who's
Feet
they?
pics. Sorry.
Who's they?
Funders, grant funders. So National Lottery, which are just ridiculous. Even commissioners. We recently didn't get a bid. We put in a bid for the MOJ. We didn't get it. And one of the reasons that we didn't get it is because they didn't believe that we would engage enough clients and have the right kind of results. So they don't care about the fact that pretty much all of our volunteers have had X amount of, sobriety. They were only looking at the numbers that we got into treatment services. But actually, some of our volunteers or some of our clients don't want to be in treatment services. They don't need to be in treatment services because the support that we are offering has maintained their recovery. But that doesn't matter because it's the numbers that we feed into statutory support services that matter, which is just ridiculous.
I'm feeling pissed off as well now.
Uh,
It's what keeps my fire alight because I don't know the ins and outs, but on face value, like it's like there's just no let up. There's no space for you to just go out and do what needs to be done.
yeah.
So what
And
I'm
half the time, the figures that statutory services put out are bullshit. They have fabricated it in a clever way. It's fabricated. We see it. It's not true. And like you say, 59% of people have completed treatment. Oh, they completed treatment, and the next fucking day they've gone and got off their head again because it's not the right kind of treatment. It's not the right kind of support. It's maintaining that recovery that is where the importance is for life.
So can we just pause for 1 second? Yeah. So behind all this anger, I'm feeling a lot of sadness. Yeah. And I wonder how much of this sadness is yours, Daisy.
I do bring a lot of sadness.
Okay. Okay. So the benefit of sadness is compassion. Yeah.
Mm.
So if we can embrace the sadness, the compassion, the grief, the dysfunction, yeah, and just kind of, okay, how do we do this? Yeah. Because my my sadness is about the loneliness of the role that you find yourself in and the frustration of it. Yeah. So listening to your story, I can jump on the anger, but I'm kind of resonating with the sadness of it and the burden of that. Oh, now I'm getting really tearful. Yeah. Because I just want to honor you for fucking getting up every day and showing up in that space.
I see that too. I
Yeah.
see that
Okay.
like
Yeah.
you eat that stuff for breakfast, but it makes you want to do it more. But how sustainable is that? I'm asking for myself now. Like,
Yeah.
well, which point am I going to burn out and break down?
Yeah. Okay.
And I think that's where it matters to have a team behind you that you can rely on. I think that's one thing that does stop me burning out, to be honest. You know, if I was surrounded by a team that were going, come on, Daisy, where's the fucking money? Get it, you know, go out there and get us more money and putting more like I feel the pressure and I think my team know that they don't need to put the pressure on me. I'm doing that, you know, and if they were, I would break. And I have done before, you know, when the when the pressure is right there and someone is going, well, why don't you just do this? And I have to say, well, I'm not doing that because of this, and this. You know, it's
Everyone's got advice, huh?
yeah,
They're fucking full of advice till they're in it.
yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah. So there my tenderness and compassion just moved to anger. It's like, fuck it, well, you do it then. Oh. Okay. Marcus, hold the container. I'm going for a pee. I feel safe enough to pee now.
So, like, what are both of your roles? Like, what's the structure, like, director wise and like leadership wise?
So we have 6 directors. Yeah, we've got 6 directors. We've got technically now 3 paid directors and 3 voluntary directors. And we are on like you know those diagrams. We are in an equal playing field. We do not have a leader. It's something that we have been back and forth 1,000 times about. And you know, at the moment, me and Katie are the end of the line. You know, anything to do with finances and I don't know, service, I'm your girl. Anything to do with the volunteers, Katie's your lady. So yeah, Katie might be able to explain that a little bit better.
Yeah, no, I think you've explained it perfectly, really. I, although I want it to be something more dynamic. Do we not have like a Batman and Robin thing that we can think of that's a
Mm.
female thing, like She-Ra and I don't know.
Yeah, maybe.
And then we have like James, who's sort of at the background, who is very much part of the founding, and he supposedly, you know, does the finances and stuff. like that.
Does it when he wants to.
Yeah. So, but we also have a committee. We have a committee, and actually, we are answerable to the committee. So, if they're like, Katie, you ain't doing your job properly, mate, you're out, then that would have to be the case.
Yeah.
So, we are governed by them. And we also have an advisory board so that we can go to and say, can you please help us? Not quite sure what we're doing. What would you advise we do in this situation? What should we do? Blah, 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 blah.
Yeah.
So that's it.
And what makes up the committee? Are they like a part of the organization, or do they just kind of look on
Yeah,
in?
no, they're all part
Yeah.
of the organisation. They're all volunteers. They're all lived experience volunteers.
They're
Um,
mostly like the leads of our areas. So we have like, because we cover all of Kent, there'll be like the Ashford lead will be on the committee, and then the group of volunteers in Ashford are kind of answerable to her. So she will coordinate that area. And then we also have like a, harm reduction lead. So someone that takes charge of the harm reduction work that we do. Yeah, different kind of
Mm.
people in charge of different jobs. Our committee meet once a month, and then the directors are more in charge of kind of strategic decisions. And the committee can raise stuff with the directors, and then we can raise stuff with the committee. So it's kind of like a circular process. And then the advisory board is like up over there, that if we're all unsure, we go, oi, help, what do we do?
And are they a part of like the day to day, or are they like
No, so
service
they're
users?
no, so our advisory board are more kind of what we would say is like business leaders. So senior people in the Forward Trust, CGL. David's one of our advisory board members.
Okay.
We've got a researcher that's she's a drug and alcohol addiction researcher, and people that have kind of run voluntary organisations before. So they more
So
kind of
like
help us on the higher level questions.
external
Yeah,
experts. Yeah.
yeah, exactly.
Okay.
How's your advisory board doing?
It's not very healthy right now, I'm going to say.
Yeah, okay. All right. So I'm a member on that advisory board. How am I doing personally on it?
I mean, you've come to the two meetings that you were invited to, so you're doing better than everyone else.
Okay. Yeah. So this is where I wanted to start with the challenge with trustees and people that are meant to be putting governance to support these organizations. Generally, my experience has been I've gotten very little support. Yeah, it's been fucking lonely from that side too. So,
I do have to say that I know, and this is just me personally, I know I could ring you and I could say, David, I don't know what the fuck. Can you either coach me or advise me or whatever it needs to be done? You know, I do know that I can have that with you. I don't with the others because that wouldn't be my pathway anyway. But I do know I can do that with you. So you are appreciated in that sense. Thank you.
yeah, and I mean, I'm not. I'm just trying to. I'm really trying to ask a question about the these resources around you. What's working, what's not working. Yeah. Yeah, because I mean, personally, if I was to assess myself, I think I'm fucking really dedicated to the I'm going to say the industry or the sector or what like I don't want to question that. I think the if anything, I might be a bit fucking jaded and go, nobody's fucking coming. Get on with it yourself. Nobody really gives a fuck. Just and then also I don't understand the UK environment. Yeah.
Mm.
So, yeah. There's so much politics in this stuff as well, huh?
Mm.
When you say you don't understand the UK environment, what do you mean?
Well, people talk about the Dame Carol Black report. They talk about the harm to hope strategy. They talk about all this funding that's been ring fenced. It's like, how the fuck? Okay, you would fucking give me a couple of quid.
Yeah.
Jesus
Show,
Christ.
show me the money.
Like, fuck. I mean, just that workshop that I put on, the 2-day workshop to try as a freebie. I said, like, guys, we'll put it on as a freebie. Make a donation to a charity of your choice. Like, we want to do it for a marketing thing to get coaching out there as a skill set. I'm very passionate about creating good recovery coaches. That's what my thing is. And I thought that would be a good idea, but like, fuck. So my frustration is the message I'm getting from out there is yes, we need this. Yes, there's money. But when it actually comes to it, it's like fucking, gee,
Mm.
what? How, how do we
Mm.
get there?
Need people like us in their boardrooms, in the system, the infrastructure.
Hmm.
Why not? I'm in so many meetings with commissioners and we work on teams together and we're all, going together for the same mission. But as soon as you say, well, we need funding for that, they go,
Mm.
oh no, can't do that. It's lived experience. You do it for free. We just need you involved.
And that's where the tokenism comes in.
Exactly. Exactly.
And that's when it gets to a diversity issue. That's when transformation of were we talking about that this morning, Marcus? You know, where you've got the organization, they say, okay, we need women on the board, and then they bring women on the board, but they're actually just turned into men,
Mm.
for want of a better. Yeah, they're feminine. The instead of the organization transforming, yeah, or where you got people with of color, yeah, like black people, whatever, it that doesn't transform. So now we need people with lived experience. Let's get them on here. But by the time people with lived experience get here, their magic of their lived experience has been beaten out of them
Mm.
by policy, process, procedure, fucking safeguarding, fucking, vocational, blah, 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 whatever.
Mm.
And this is why I get quite protective about my particular work and thinking, because I want to protect this style. Because I promise you, where people smell money and you need to be lived experience, then it's like, okay, well, let's fucking find some fucking junkie somewhere, put them in a place and say, we got junkie, we got junkie, we lived experience. And people are going to have a go out there if they ever watch this and that, oh, that language is inappropriate. Fuck off, I'm a crackhead. Fuck you. Oh, now I'm activated.
Mm.
But I can sound neurodiverse now. What's it feel like venting this stuff, Daisy and Katie?
I mean, I think as you can see, when I talk about it, I get very riled up. And sometimes it's good to get that out. But actually, sometimes it just leaves me feeling a bit sad
Yeah.
you know, because it really brings, not that I ignore it because it's always there, but actually focusing on it and really feeling the kind of the fact that everyone is feeling this frustration and that actually this is the reality of working in this sector and trying to do what we're doing. It really does bring quite a bit of heaviness going, oh shit, yeah, it is really shit actually at the moment.
Okay. So let's acknowledge that heaviness. Yeah. And let's just turn around for a second. And let's look to Marcus. Yeah. For fucking strength and direction and fucking. So, Marcus, you got the broken foxes here.
Yes, so we
What
had
do
a
we need? If we're the foxes, if we're the,
oh,
if we're,
okay. I thought you was like just needing light-hearted story to no, go on. What was your question gonna be?
yeah.
So
Inspire us with hope.
initially, like as you're talking about that, I'm like, you need a coffee morning. But no, you need a rage room for lived experience. But
A
then I was
rage
like,
room,
we need to
great.
take this to like a national campaign that people can like, I don't know, put it on social media and we go into a room and smash up model buildings that have got like all of these fucking infrastructures, logos, and names on, and let lived experience people like yourself who challenge things like funding and tell your story in a 30-second clip whilst watching other people with lived experience smash up the room. And then you can see the level of rage that it takes to do this and why it's important that the companies that we're smashing up need to fucking listen. Sorry.
Wow. Hey, isn't that nice, huh? I'm filled with like, wow.
But you know what I mean? Like, those pop-up art installations that come to London, need something like that to get the message out there and say that this is what we're up against. You want a better community, you want a better world, make it easier. Just
Mm.
take away the red tape. Take away just give us free reign for 2 years. Give us put £1 billion in a pot and just let us,
Mm.
divvy that up to county and just let us have free reign of it. Don't come and scrutinize us. Don't come and ask for outcomes. Just watch what we do. And I guarantee you it'll be better than what you've been doing for fucking however long the NHS has been going.
Hey, it's inspiring, huh? Let's have a raw rage room. The 3 R's, a raw rage room.
Can't cost money.
But
Really?
it's art. We could get funding for the art, the creativity.
No. And it's sad though, because that would be lovely, but part of me is just like, well, they still won't fucking care.
Well, no, they would just turn it against us and be like, see,
Yeah,
this is why they're crazy and we
yeah.
can't trust them with the
This
money.
chaos, we can't do that.
So we're back to diversity, huh?
I don't even think it's diversity as a stigma.
Yeah. But it's like we're different. You
Mm.
can't do it like, yeah. Mm.
I joined an advisory group for Surrey Police. Um, so I'm quarter Jamaican through blood, and the rest of me is English. And just because I'm not black enough to be black, but I'm not white enough to be white. So I was like, well, I've been through these same struggles. So I joined the race panel. Um, and the first thing that they said, they was like, "Are you even black?" And I was like, "Are you actually asking me this?"
Go on,
I
Milan,
was
I'll bring it
like,
up.
I was like, "Are you actually asking me this?" Like, I'm not black in the color sense, like, but I still had those same struggles. Like, take the color away, it's the behavior and the way that the system interacts, and you want to tackle this issue, and you're asking me. that question, like seriously.
What percentage of black are you? You said a quarter, 25%. Well, that doesn't quite meet our quota, but we could partner you up with another quarter black person, and then we got half a black.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Or no, have you got an eighth then?
Don't know. For someone that does finances, my maths is not great.
How are we doing for time? Oh, fuck, 43. Jeez, I was really getting lost in it. Okay, what are we learning?
It's a
Remember,
fuck
this is a
up.
learning environment.
It's a fuck up.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm learning that it's like it is as I perceived it, it's complicated.
Yeah,
It's
okay.
long.
So it's systemic by nature.
Mm.
Yep. So this is why it's called systemic wellness practitioner. Yeah. You're practicing wellness in a difficult systemic environment. Is there part of you that's had fun today? Yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So me too. And what it's triggering for me is the part of me that goes, in spite of all of this, at least I'm doing a little bit. Yep. It helps me with my vocational side of me.
I think it helps me with my resilience as well, actually. To
Great.
actually just to be able to, put it where it needs to be.
It's deep. It's a deep feeling. Are you guys thinking about like your next task? Like are you still sitting with this conversation's feeling? I can see your minds are like ticking. And
I
mine
never
is.
used to
But
be able to sit with this. When I first started doing this, I would have been 2 seconds into that and I would have had to have said something because I could not cope with it. So again, it's building my resilience, it's building my patience, it's building my tolerance, it's giving me that time to think instead of just blurting out stuff because I can. Do you know what I mean?
Mhm.
I couldn't do it before. But now you're taking it too far, all right? There's only so much I can take. I knew it would have to be me.
So one of the shadows, so in the psyche, you've got animus and the anime, the masculine and the feminine. And one of the shadows of the masculine is just fucking keep going, keep doing da 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 da, and not stopping to talk and to collect. One of the shadows of the feminine is just to sit around and talk and talk and talk and nothing happens. Yep. So you can get caught in meetings about meetings and feelings and dirt, and you can get caught with people not knowing what's going on because it's just go da 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 da. The work is to try and bring it together. Yeah. So my question to you, Daisy, and Katie, is what is it that you need from the advisory board other than attending a meeting? It's like, guys, you're here to fucking help us. This is what would be helpful.
Can't think of anything specific, but I think having that outside perspective, because we're in it day in and day out, and sometimes you need that drone going over the top looking. So that for me.
Yeah, I agree. I think that's the purpose of it, isn't it? Because we're in the organization. We each also have our own wants, desires, views, egos, and we have to work together on a daily basis. And some of those, as an organization, some of the hard decisions that need to be made might not be in line with one person's view or the other person's view. And, you know, having someone that is detached, invested in the fact that they want us to succeed. I mean, detached from the day to day and the kind of nicety that needs to remain within an organization for it to move forward, allows a kind of level of truth and oversight that we can't necessarily do ourselves. You know, you can see what might be objectively the right decision to make, regardless of everyone's feelings. You know, we might all want something for different reasons, or a group wants it and the other doesn't. At least you can go, well, actually, this is probably the objectively right thing to do.
Yeah.
So, are your finances published?
No,
Okay,
they
so
are being published. They are with an accountant, and every time I ask, it's almost there. So it's almost there.
okay, and they need to be submitted to Companies House.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay,
Yeah.
so there's a public record of it. So it's going to be public.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. And your salaries are also going to be public. Not to your names, but the amount that yeah. Okay.
Yep.
All right. So each dollar, this is based on American statistics from the US Surgeon General's report in 2016, is each dollar that's spent on your type of organization saves $4 on the $3 on the criminal justice system and $4 in the medical system. Yeah. I think it's even more here in the UK.
Yeah.
Yeah. So whatever they're spending, yeah. So say they're spending £100,000, they're saving £700,000. Yeah. So how do you prove that? The number of people that have been through your service, the areas that you serve, and you've got that evidence there already, haven't you?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So I think you're doing great from my drone perspective. The question I'm going to leave you with is, what is it about your organization that other people aren't seeing? So if Katie's message, yep, is fuck, I'm not good enough, I've got this, I'm not this, I'm not da 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 da. If that is being communicated internally, how does that impact your organization? I'm most probably talking about myself here. Yeah. My own internal fucking imposter syndrome or whatever, my anxiety undervalues the amount of good work that I am doing out there.
I and I'll speak from my perspective. I think my honesty about my perhaps vulnerabilities or unsureness is actually a really powerful part of the heart of what we do. That's what people can't see, is the actual heart that is within the organization. We say we're a dysfunctional family, and we are. We genuinely are. And I think that
I
authenticity.
completely disagree. I think you're a very functional family where you can actually share
Yeah.
honestly and openly and courageously and bring your stuff out there.
Mm,
I think you're modeling that and teaching people that sort of stuff that have no idea how to navigate that stuff.
mm, yeah.
Okay, same time next week, people.
Yes.
Did you want to say something, Daisy?
No, I think I was just going to say that I think Katie is right. It's the heart that people miss. It's the actual function of Raw that people miss, because everyone that looks at Raw, well, from my perspective, from a funding perspective and a commissioning perspective, it's all about the numbers. Everything is quantifiable. It's how many people did you get past this line? How many volunteers do you have? Whatever. They don't care about how well our volunteers are doing, how we look after their well-being and their welfare, and how they're developing as individuals, which, we're amazing at doing that stuff. We've got people with us that are living lives now that they've never even considered would be possible for them. And that's amazing. From the outside in, they're just another number with a number. Oh, you've got 6 months recovery, 8 years recovery. That's all they care about. Oh, you've increased 3 points on your well-being scale. But it's not about, how happy they are or how fulfilled they are in their lives. So that is what is missing. People don't see that, don't see the intricacies of the amazing work we do. It's all just numbers and figures and bullshit, to be honest.
That just really made me emotional
Yeah.
when you said people living lives they never thought they would. Because it's true.
Mm. Well, you certainly grabbed my heart there, Katie. Okay, Marcus, I think it's time for an appropriate rubric for Raw. Yeah, I saw what you created the other day for what's it, contact center stuff.
Yeah.
I think it would be excellent if you're up for doing that as part of your homework.
Hmm.
Yeah, I think that would be very helpful for Raw.
I will
Something that we can shout
go away
about.
and do something. Yeah.
All right, everyone, I need to check out. Thank you for everything that you do. And yeah, I certainly see it. It's a fucking blessing to have you people in my life. I'll tag Katie. if she can ever unmute.
Sorry, I thought you said Daisy. I'm so sorry. I thought you said Daisy. Yeah, I'm checking out, feeling yeah, that really got me, and that reminded me, because I can sit and get jaded and get angry and all of that crap, but that's just reminded me that's what it's about, and that's why I do what I do, and I need to never forget that. So I'm very grateful. Tag you, Daisy, now. Sorry.
Sorry. Yeah, I am angry and I'm jaded and I'm sad. But that kind of pushes me to keep doing what we're doing. And, I love giving a little fuck you to people that think we can't do it. So, we'll get there, we'll get the money and it'll all be fine. And, if we've got to scale back and support the people that we're supporting, we'll keep doing it and we'll find a different way because, we are doing it for a reason and it can look 1,000 ways. So we just got to keep going. Be fine. Right, Marcus, how are you doing?
I'm feeling heavy, but I'm in awe with like just being here with the three of you and just watching the struggle, because this is what the services hide. They come out the robotic side and like this is the emotive side. So just love, rage, and solidarity, because that's what drives us. So, yeah, thank you for being so open about it all. Fuck, what am I doing?
All right, everyone. Lots of love. Bye.
See you later.